Hello and welcome to Lord of Heroes on Nyris Gaming. I apologize for any audio quality dips. I currently have to do a different setup right now due to technical difficulties. But today we are going to get into the new update that dropped today that we have been talking about on the channel. So first things first, let's get into the skill level upgrades of our new heroes, Dark Silica and Water Johann. So, looking at Dark Silica, this is her S1 that was going to do a 70% chance to inflict a single target with elemental weakness for 2 turns, which will cause them to take damage as though they were at an elemental disadvantage. The levels are going to be damage, debuff chance, damage, and debuff chance, for a total debuff chance of 90%, which is incredibly solid, so that will be happening almost all of the time going into the debuff rate check, rather. For S2, going to be a simple 4 damage and 1 cooldown. Final skill, this one's a bit interesting. It's going to increase the true damage of her burst skill by upwards of 100% at rank 5, so that will double it, and at max rank it will bump it from 85% chance to do that to 100% chance. You don't have a chance to get extra damage, you are guaranteed extra damage, and it'll be 100,000 more, so that'll be a 200,000 damage burst on top of whatever damage it does initially, so she could actually probably pump out quite effective damage for just being a warrior. We'll have to see that in a hero spotlight later on. Now on to Water Johann, who is, I didn't even realize, our only third Water Guardian in the game. These two were our only other ones, and they've been around since the beginning, so it's been a while. Let's see here. First one, attack selected enemy, 60% chance to reduce the target's attack power for 2 turns. This gets up to 80% debuff chance at rank 4, and the rest is damage. Second one, attacks all enemies, 70% chance to reduce all targets' crit rate for 2 turns, and additionally raises all allies' crit resistance for 2 turns. Damage increases based on max health. This will gain 50% more burst gauge gain along these levels, a little bit more damage, up to 80% debuff chance, so it'll be able to keep those debuffs and buffs up pretty regularly. This one heals him for 30% after he attacks a selected enemy, and has a 70% chance to grant immunity to all allies. Gets some damage in there, goes up to a 90% chance to grant immunity to all allies. So that's very consistent, and goes down to a 2 spirit cost. So it'll be available very regularly and be very consistent. Now, as far as Water Johann is concerned, the button for the charity event is going to be right here next to the daily events. And you can see how many points have been earned in total. This is where you're also going to get your invite code for new players. I've been seeing a lot of people making new accounts just to get these points. I don't know how frowned upon that is, but considering not everyone has this many people to get 121 per person up to 847 just to get this character, I honestly don't blame them. Also, doesn't really matter if you're not actually making a new account. The points will still be added up to the total, which will increase the amount donated to the charity. So in the end, the charitable giving is still benefited. But yeah, you'll need approximately 6 or 7 new people invited just to get enough points to get the new character. When you come in here, you are given a fake friend account by default, so you're given 121 right off the bat. Now on to the real meat of this. We are going to be playing through the new War of the Tyrants update. This is obviously going to be in the bottom right here. It is very apparent, right next to the normal world map button. Also, you're going to have the battle pass right here in the events page. You will get a little side story when you first open this up. Let's get into it now, shall we? You know, that's Isola down. Yeah, these are not positioned the correct location. Okay, so yeah, here we are. Chapter 1 is available currently. Chapter 2 in Rodan will be available in 6 days. Although, hold on. Let's take a gander at this. Nibelon Woodlands and Lumisade are on the right side now? This place that we've seen that looks like a dragon is apparently called the Origin of the World. Etheronia, Alderun, Republic of Lille, Revere, Gallus, Druin, Gelmund. Okay, so this is all the places that the Gallus Empire ends up being eventually. Because Alderun is where Vanessa's from. Delphoia, Lunaris, Isola. This ends up being Dacion. Yeah, why is this south of... These are not positioned the same as they are on the world map. Maybe the world map is just positioned horizontally just so it fits in that kind of a screen. I think this is actually how these are oriented. That would make more sense. We have conflict between the Varian Tribes. Let's get into this. We get to play as NPCs, and we have Light Sifrid here. We cannot look at her details. That's a bit disappointing. Situation stabilized through victory. Light Sifrid stood at the vanguard. Nobody was sacrificed. Okay. This does cost energy like everything else. Okay, now we can take a gander at this. Ancient Dragon's Warning. Attacks a selected enemy, fills the user's action gauge by 30%, reduces the user's skill cooldown by 1 turn. Okay, so it's like Fire Silica's 1, but with a Lin, Water Lin, cooldown reduction. That's fancy. Got Overflowing Ether. Heals all allies in proportion to the user's maximum health. Generates a shield for all allies based on the user's maximum health that lasts 2 turns. So that is very similar to Dark Mei-Ling. Healing Rainfall. Okay, so she is most definitely a cleric in this. Attacks all enemies and 100% chance to reduce their action gauge by 15%. Heals all allies in proportion to the user's maximum health and increases their... Jeez. Reduces all enemies' action gauges, boosts all of yours, and heals everyone. That is quite handy. Don't really need to do this yet, so we will attack you. Oh, and she's fancy looking. I like it. What exactly are you guys' skills? Attacks a selected enemy, 50% chance to ignore defense. Attacks a selected enemy, 50% chance to ignore defense. Gains an extra turn if an enemy dies. Like so. There we are. And you, 70% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn, 100% chance to reduce defense for 2 turns. And stun. Okay, so you're a debuffer. Start with that. That should be a heal, yeah. Then... Oh, I like her. Okay, so far we haven't gotten into the phases type of battle yet, where there's an endless horde until you fill a bar. Hopefully this either kills or stuns. This is a completely different pace to things than I'm used to. I want to see what this looks like, even though I don't really need to use it right now. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Well, there's a lot of you now. I should have saved it for this. Whoopsie. We'll be fine. Hey, and that actually killed. Okay. That does much more damage than the one. You're all gonna heal him. I know. That's how it works. Sifrid's gonna kill everyone. And action gauge boost herself ahead of everyone and continue to attack, apparently. See what this looks like. Pretty. You are beefy. And that's that. Victory pose? Aw, darn. Archived. Okay, with that taste of the new story out of the way, I will leave the rest of it to all of you. And until the next video, I will be seeing you.